to say no? Do you struggle to set boundaries? Does the thought of setting a boundary make you feel quite sick? That's not unusual for some of us. For some of us, saying no to people can be a really difficult thing. Maybe you don't like conflict. Maybe you find yourself over-explaining things to people. Maybe you get into a bit of a panic if somebody begins to get upset with you. If you have those experiences, I want to have a chat with you. And I want you to understand some really important things that will help you when it comes to communicating from a really authentic space without feeling absolutely awful. Saying no to people shouldn't come with a sense of guilt or fear or a 10-minute justification. It shouldn't be around people pleasing and trying to find, easier ways of doing things that don't upset other people. Because in the long run, the person who's trying to save other people's feelings generally can feel pretty awful. You don't have to choose between standing up for yourself and keeping the peace. There are other ways of dealing with this, and I'm going to unpack that with you. So I think the first thing is to understand that for some people, saying no feels really hard. It just does. Some of us might have grown up learning that pleasing other people was the safest way for us to stay accepted in our family situation, or to avoid conflict because we didn't like how that felt, or we didn't like how other people responded when they were in conflict. Maybe there were times in our lives where if we didn't comply, we might have been criticised or rejected or made to feel like somehow we were a burden to that person. So over our childhood, we learned to adapt, because kids are great at that, right? We adapted to learn to keep the peace, to avoid conflict, to sort of pull back our own needs so that other people felt a bit more comfortable. But other people's comfort usually comes at a cost for us. So if we say yes when we mean no, we pay a price. We become quite overwhelmed and exhausted, carrying the weight of everything on us. And in the end, that can make us quite resentful and feel really unappreciated or underappreciated by the people around us. People pleasing really is, it's an interesting thing, right? Some people think it's about, people pleasing about being kind to other people, but it isn't. It's a survival strategy. It's a way of avoiding uncomfortable feelings, and it comes from a space of fear inside of us. The fear of being rejected, the fear of people not liking us, the fear of being seen as being selfish. But it's not selfish to ask for what you want and need, and it's not cruel to say no to people. It's okay for you to go, no, I'm not doing that, or no, I can't help you, or no, that's not possible. It's okay. Boundaries aren't about conflict. They're about giving clarity to other people. So when we set boundaries, other people understand what it is we want and need. They may not like it, but they'll understand it. So boundaries aren't about attacking people. They're about giving people information so that they know how to treat you, what you want and need, and what's important to you. They help other people know what's okay and what's not okay. And that really helps our relationships work enormously well, because people then understand. You don't need to explain or defend your position when you say a no. A no is a complete sentence. Thank you for thinking of me, but I can't. You don't say any more than that. Maybe I'd love to help you, but I'm already committed elsewhere. Full stop. Sorry, I don't have the time. Those sentences are complete. You don't need to go why or how or when or feel bad. They're just complete things where you say, unfortunately, I can't at this point in time. And it's a full stop. Anything more is about trying to manage the other person's discomfort and not about you setting limits on what you are able to do. So many of us, when we are people pleasers, when we have been taught to sort of avoid conflict, can feel quite guilty really quickly if we have to say no to somebody, because we believe we've done something wrong, and we haven't done something wrong. We're just actually trying really hard to live within the scope of our capacity. We all can only do a certain amount of stuff, and then we're overburdened. And for many of us, this sense of, I don't want to let them down, I don't want them to be cross with me, it's a reaction from really old beliefs from your childhood, not your current reality. So it's really important that you understand that in setting a boundary, you're doing kind things for yourself and you're helping other people understand what it is you want and need. And yes, some people are going to really not like it. Some people are going to be cross because they actually prefer it if you people please, and they take advantage of you and they ask for too much because they know you'll say no. It's really important to just give yourself space, and if you say no and it's uncomfortable and you don't like that feeling, it's okay for you to just take a minute and go, I'm not trying to be cruel. This is to yourself, not the other person. I'm not trying to be cruel to them. I'm just trying to really manage my own energy. I'm just trying to make sure that I look after myself, and I only say yes when I truly want to say yes. The times that we say no to something give us space to say yes to other things. They give us yes so that we can do things that fill our cup up, that help us feel energized and happy and feel good about our lives, right? So boundaries protect our time, our energy, and our emotional health and well-being. If you struggle to say no to people, if you find that really hard, then try something really small. Just try saying no to something really tiny. Start small and build up the muscle of saying no. And if you feel guilty or uncomfortable afterwards, do a bit of processing. Sit and work on it. Why does it make me feel this way? I didn't do anything wrong. I just said no to something because of whatever the reason was for you. It might have been that you had other commitments. It might have been that you were tired. It might have been that you didn't actually want to do it. And that's perfectly okay. And once you've actually sat with it for a bit and thought about it, watch how much peace and space that comes into your life. No really helps us make space for the yeses. No really helps us make space for the times that maybe we need to take care of ourselves. People might get angry that you have said no to them, especially if they're used to you saying yes. Some people, especially family members, unfortunately, can really try and guilt trip us because they are used to the way we respond to everything. And it's okay for us to sit with that discomfort and just explain, look, I'm really sorry, I can't do that anymore. Oh no, I'm really sorry, I don't have time for that right now. And it's okay for us to do that. They will get used to it in time as long as we stick to the boundary. If we say, no, we're not going to do it, and then we do it out of guilt, then they're going to think, okay, well, all I've got to do is make you feel guilty, and then you'll say yes to me. If you struggle to set healthy boundaries with family, friends, co-workers, partners, then I'm here to assist you. On my channel here, you'll find a whole playlist about boundaries. It goes into a lot of detail about it. If you find you need a little bit extra help, then I host a live Q&A session every week or so. You can find notifications about that on the page, so please go ahead and have a look for it. If you can't find it, drop me a comment and I'll definitely point you in the right direction. And if you are struggling and you really feel like you need a bit more support than a Q&A session, I run a workshop a couple of times a year called From Heartbreak to Healing. The workshop is free of charge, and you can grab yourself, you can get on the wait list for that. There's a link for that on this page. If you can't find it, let me know, and you can just save a space there for the next one that's coming up. Whatever happens though, I would really encourage you to start to take care of yourself by setting healthy boundaries with the people around you. Trust me, your life will be better. People will understand you better. You're going to feel like you have more energy to give to all the things that are important to you. It is so worth doing. Take care. Bye.